Welcome to Hogwarts.
With rumors going around that HBO is rebooting the Harry Potter series and making a TV show based on all 7 books, we can't wait to return to our favorite magical school. But we can't help but remember all the scenes, subplots, and characters from the books that got cut due to the movie's limited runtime. So let's take a look at the 10 things we want to see in the Harry Potter reboot.
Peeves, don't you...
I'm going to tell.
First up, we have Peeves the Poltergeist. Peeves is one of the most notorious ghosts seen around Hogwarts, known for constantly causing mischief and getting other students into trouble. Peeves first appears in the first book and wreaks havoc throughout the series, especially for the caretaker Mr. Filch. The castle feels a bit absent and tame without the risk of Peeves around every corner.
Expelliarmus!
Second on the list is Neville Longbottom's subplot from the 5th book. Neville, a recurring side character throughout all of the movies, has a much bigger role here related to the prophecy. In the movie, Harry finds the prophecy that Voldemort is after.
One with the power to vanquish the Dark Lord approaches.
Trelawney's prophecy is only summarized in the movies and leaves out a lot of keywords from the book that also includes Neville in the prophecy. A line missing is, "Born to those who have thrice defied him, born as the 7th month dies."
You'll get Gryffindor into trouble again. I'll fight you.
From the very beginning, Neville had the potential of being the chosen one instead of Harry.
But I am the chosen one.
Just like Harry, Neville was born at the end of July. His parents were part of the Order of the Phoenix, and both their parents suffered because of Voldemort and his followers. The only reason why Harry ended up being the chosen one was because of his blood purity. Voldemort, a half-blood, saw himself in Harry, who was also a half-blood, and deemed him more of a threat. Of course, that doesn't mean Neville never had the potential of being a hero, and adding this subplot into the reboot would give so much more depth to his character. Third on the list is Ginny's personality. Casting kids to grow up on the set of a movie is no easy feat, and oftentimes the actors and actresses end up not growing into their role. One of the worst cases of this in the Harry Potter films is Harry's love interest, Ginny Weasley.
Open up, you. Don't you trust me?
The interactions between Harry and Ginny, especially later in the series when they start to have romantic interest in one another, is just awkward. In the books, Ginny is described as a powerful, sassy, and energetic witch who is only shy around Harry. We only see glimpses of that in the movies, here and there, but it's nothing compared to her personality in the books.
The doctor!
At number 4, we have Squibs. Muggleborns, witches and wizards born from magicless parents, are mentioned frequently throughout the series. However, their counterpart, Squibs, are not mentioned at all.
Oh dear, we are in trouble.
You may notice that Argus Filch never once uses magic. That's because he's a Squib, a magicless person born from wizarding parents. Squib is only mentioned once in the movies, and it's during a deleted scene from the final movie.
Let us out of here, you filthy squib!
But Filch isn't the only character in the movies who is a Squib.
Don't put away your wand, Harry. They might come back.
Mrs. Fig, Harry's next-door neighbor, who we don't meet until the 5th movie, is also a Squib, and has known about Harry his whole life. It's important to the wizarding world, and to these characters, to include Squibs in the reboot. 5th on the list is Spew. You may only know what Spew is if you've read the books. Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare is an organization created by Hermione during the 4th book to stop the enslavement of house elves.
Master has presented Dobby with clothes. Dobby is free.
Hermione's movement would see all house elves considered more than slaves and servants in the wizarding world. She started this movement after she witnessed them being abused during the Quidditch World Cup. Although not abused at Hogwarts, house elves are responsible for all the food made in the kitchen, which we get a glimpse of in the game Hogwarts Legacy. Different intelligent magical creatures in the books, like house elves, goblins, giants, and more, have different rights based on their race, and Hermione's battle for equality is important to her character.
Messrs. Mooney, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs are proud to present the Marauders Map.
6th on the list is the Marauders' backstory. The Marauders, the creators of the Marauders Map, are not mentioned much throughout the films. Unless you read the books, you don't really understand who they are until the 5th movie.
Come on, Mooney, Padfoot. Snape! Expelliarmus!
Nice one, James.
Finish him off.
The Marauders story is left out during the Prisoner of Azkaban movie, so we never get the full picture of their history. Movie watchers never get a chance to understand the friendship Harry's father, Sirius, Lupin, and Pettigrew had, nor the sacrifices they made for one another.
How dare you talk about James in front of him? You sold James and Lily to Voldemort, didn't you? I didn't mean to.
Nor do movie watchers get a chance to truly understand the tragedy of their friendship without the full scope of their backstory.
What a charismatic quartet.
At number 7, we have Rita Skeeter. Rita Skeeter, a journalist in the 4th movie that is known to exaggerate her stories, is hated by the Golden Trio. She is described as devious and a real thorn in Harry's side.
Hey, you said, a mere boy of 12.
I'm 14.
The movies leave out the fact that she's an animagus, and that her lies catch up to her in the form of Hermione. A lot of key moments that defined Hermione's character in the books were left out, and her trapping Rita Skeeter in her animagus form in a jar is one of them. Hermione blackmails Rita Skeeter to stop her from writing all her lies.
Nearly headless? How can you be nearly headless?
Like this.
Number 8, the Death Day Party. A lot about the ghosts that roam the castle are left out in the movies, besides quick mentions here and there.
Once again, my request to join the Headless Hunt has been denied.
In the second book, Harry, Ron, and Hermione go to Sir Nicholas's 500th Death Day Party, which means a lot to him. The interactions and routines the ghosts in the castle follow make Hogwarts seem so much more lively. There's a whole community of souls that thrive there, and leaving out so many elements of their story takes away from Hogwarts' charm. Ninth on the list is St. Mungo's Hospital for Magical Maladies and Injuries. We don't know much about Lockhart's fate after he loses all his memories, and he isn't mentioned again after the second movie. However, he appears again during the trio's 5th year at Hogwarts when they visit St. Mungo's, the Wizarding Hospital. There they find Lockhart in the ward for permanent spell damage. St. Mungo's is never featured in the movies, and so far has only been featured in the mobile game Hogwarts Mystery. Including this scene in the reboot would be a great opportunity to feature a location that has yet to be recreated in a live-action form.
Together they make the Deathly Hallows. Together.
And at number 10, Harry becomes the Master of Death. While alluded to, it isn't fully explained why Harry survived Voldemort a second time and that he is the Master of Death. Near the end of the last movie, Harry has ownership of all 3 Deathly Hallows.
The Elder Wand. The most powerful wand ever made.
Dumbledore is the owner of the Elder Wand for most of the series. It is believed that Snape becomes the owner and then Voldemort. But when Draco disarmed Dumbledore, he became the owner. And then when this happened, Harry, in a bit more of a traditional sense, disarms Draco, making him the owner of the Elder Wand.
The Resurrection Stone.
The Resurrection Stone was hidden in the golden snitch that Harry caught during his very first Quidditch game. Although he leaves it behind, he is momentarily the owner of all 3 Deathly Hallows.
The Cloak of Invisibility.
I know what that is. That's an invisibility cloak.
Both the cloak and the stone were given to Harry by Dumbledore. Although it is understood that Harry owns all 3 of the Deathly Hallows, there is little emphasis on what it means to be the Master of Death. Not only does he deny that power, but he selflessly makes the decision to ensure no one else can ever have access to it, not even himself.
Just saying, that's the Elder Wand. Most powerful wand in the world.